Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of Classic Live Album War. Today we got two real heavyweights, okay? Both of these bands, mega bands, all right? One live album released in 1988. The other released in 1992, okay? We're talking about heavyweight contenders. Pink Floyd, Delicate Sound of Thunder, and the other, Queen, live at Wembley, 86. Okay, two pretty special ones, all right? You know, and I've been days leading up to this show. I've been listening to both of them, re-listening to both of them, and yeah, they're both pretty damn great. So the first one, all right, so Pink Floyd, released in November 22nd, actually, 1988, recorded in August over a couple of nights that same year, 88, at the Nassau Coliseum in Uniondale, Long Island, okay? This is from the Momentary Lapse of Reason tour. Okay, so this is post Roger Waters leaving the band, right? Perfect proof that these guys, led by David Gilmour, could still go on and be a colossal band. All right, so of course you've got Gilmour and Nick Mason, Richard Wright, John Caron, okay, Scott Page on sax, Guy Pratt on bass, Tim Renwick on extra guitars, you know, all sorts of other backing vocalists and what have you. But, you know, Wright, Mason, Gilmour, okay, the three kind of surviving members of Pink Floyd, at least in the band, I should say, kicks off with a stellar rendition. I mean, what way to kick off a Pink Floyd concert other than with Shine On You Crazy Diamond, right? Okay, with those yearning guitar strains from Mr. Gilmour. Fantastic on here. Then you got a bunch of newer tunes, all right? You got Learning to Fly, which is phenomenal on here. Yet Another Movie, okay? Round and Around. A killer, Sorrow. I was listening to this last night, and I'm just like, man, the guitar work of Gilmour was just like wrenching at my soul. I mean, it's just like, it's great. It's like this doomy, dirgy, you know, guitar licks, and it's just like, so great. And then Dogs of War, okay, and then finishing off disc 1, okay, which is probably LP number 2, okay, On the Turning Away, or sorry, I should say the side B of the first LP, On the Turning Away, which is great on here, okay. Then on disc 2 of the CD, okay, you've got some more older stuff, right? Because you got a lot of newer tracks at the time. You got One of These Days, okay, which is excellent on here. You got Time, okay, classic Time. Then Wish You Were Here, Us and Them, a very kind of haunting Us and Them. All right, and then you got Money, Supercharged Money, great sax solos. Another Brick in the Wall, Part 2. A stellar Comfortably Numb, with more just mind-boggling guitar solos from Mr. Gilmour. Again, one of the best guitar solos of all time, Comfortably Numb. And then a very spirited finale in Run Like Hell, okay, from The Wall. Great sounding album, okay, killer performances. I know some of you might be saying, well, you know, it is great, but I like Pulse better. Well, I decided to go with this today. Okay, I dig this a lot. Okay. The other contender for the heavyweight crown, okay, at the other end of the ring. I remember I bought this when it first came out, okay, and, you know, this was not long after Freddie passed, you know, Freddie Mercury, and this basically kind of commemorates just how on top of the world Queen were in the mid-'80s, all right, because this is, you know, not long after they recorded this show, not long after the Live Aid show. This is their triumphant return back to Wembley Stadium in London, all right, in front of God knows how many people. And it's, you know, 2 discs, double LP set, you know, it's just so many great Queen tracks. And while it may be not the heavy rampaging Queen of Live Killers, and don't worry, Live Killers is coming up in this tournament too this weekend, just you wait. Didn't think I was going to forget that, did you? This still, for me, gives you plenty of classic live tracks from their earlier repertoire, and a lot of great 80s stuff performed really well. It just basically gives you every side to Queen, right? So kicking off, you got One Vision, all right? Great heavy-hitting track. Tie Your Mother Down. In the Lap of the Gods, revisited. Seven Seas Awry. Tear It Up, okay? A Kind of Magic. which probably my favorite version of A Kind of Magic on here. Under Pressure, awesome on here. Another one, Bites the Dust. Who Wants to Live Forever? I Want to Break Free. Okay. Brighton Rock. Got to have Brighton Rock with a Brian May guitar solo. And then a spirited, supercharged version of Now I'm Here, right? Over on disc 2, you got the tender, gorgeous Love of My Life. Is This the World We Created? Okay. You're So Square, Baby I Don't Care. Got to do a little, they do a little rock and roll kind of medley here, a little acoustic thing. Hello, Mary Lou, Tutti Frutti, and Give Me Some Lovin', all right? That's kind of fun. I would have rather heard some older Queen stuff, right? Just me. That's the one kind of knock on this one. Bohemian Rhapsody, of course. Splendid. Hammer to Fall. Heavy rockin'. Love all the heavy stuff they put on here. Crazy Little Thing Called Love. Big Spender. Another one I could have, that's Freddie. Freddie's really going all out with all of his influence and stuff on here. Radio Gaga is phenomenal on here. I love Radio Gaga on here. We Will Rock You. Friends Will Be Friends. We Are the Champions. And then God Save the Queen to finish it all off. So what do I think if I kind of put these all up together? I mean, great performances here, obviously. The band just gelling big time. And, sadly, in a couple of years, Freddie getting real sick. All right. Just a few short years after that, and before you know it, the beginning of the 90s, he's no longer with us. But I think here, just a band just really soaking up all the accolades from their entire career. And like I said, you may argue that the Live Killers album is the ultimate Queen live album, but I think for those that really continued on following Queen into the 80s, this is just a great kind of document of just how big a band they still were at that time. Maybe not here in the U.S. anymore, because Queen hadn't toured here in the U.S. in years at this point in time. But over in London, all right, in Europe, still tremendous, all right, packing them in here, and it's just a great performance. My quibble is with some of the covers and things like that. This again, a band still firing on all cylinders, right? They're still putting in a killer set. You got a nice selection of newer tracks at the time, as well as some old favorites. The Pulse album probably pulls in more of the older favorites, and I get that, right? It's great for what it is, too. But there's some parallels here, right? And it's the reason why I picked these two. Again, because both bands, mid-late 80s, right? Kind of a little bit in transition, but still showing that they're at the height of their powers. That's kind of why I put these two together, right? So which one am I going to pick? Because, of course, that's what I got to do. This one really pains me a lot. I'll tell you why. I'm a bigger Queen fan than I am Pink Floyd. I love Pink Floyd, but I'm a pretty big Queen fan. I love Queen. And I, have listened to this and watched the accompanying DVD or Blu-ray, whatever it is I have, many, 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 many times over. This is one of those live albums and the live video that my wife can totally agree on. She loves this era of Queen, and we have watched and listened to this together numerous times over our 20-plus year history together. So this has got a real special place in my heart. However, I have to kind of overlook all that stuff, okay, and just really concentrate on the music. And for me, there's no weak parts of this, okay? Like I said, I could skip like maybe, half a dozen tracks on here and replace all the covers and replace them with actual Queen classics. Here, I just like the fact that they performed, a selection of stuff from their then new album and do it quite well and throw in a bunch of really cool classics, and it's all performed impeccably. So again, Roger Waters gone, but the band's still killing it. So I'm going to give this one to Pink Floyd. It's a split decision, right? Because this still means a hell of a lot to me. 116, 114, 113, 115, 117, 110. Pink Floyd edges it out over Queen, but that's not to knock this album because I love it to death. It's just, probably of the two, this is more special to me for personal reasons, but I think based on the entire performance on each, like I said, I got to go with Pink Floyd. Okay? Your opinion may vary, and that's cool, right? There's no right or wrong here, so let us know what you think below. Make sure you vote. Upper right-hand corner, you'll see a little white circle with a letter I in the middle. Click on that. Vote for Pink Floyd or for Queen. Go on our Facebook page. Vote there as well. Let us know what you think, and we'll see which one, after 6 days, We'll tally up the votes and see which one makes it onto round 2 of our tournament. All right, we'll see what happens. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, of course, we're on YouTube every damn day. Tune in tomorrow. I will have the final Classic Live Album Awards, and I'm doing solo anyway. Okay, then I got some guests coming on this weekend that are going to help me round out those kind of 10 matchups that we still have left to do. And we're going to present that all to you. I'm going to get them all posted. You guys can watch and vote and all that kind of stuff. We're going to take a little break from Classic Live Album Wars to let all the votes come in. Then I'm going to take all of our winners that have moved over to round 2, create all new random matchups, and we'll start probably in about 2 weeks. We'll start doing those. Okay, so we've got a long way to go in this tournament, but it's going to be fun because it'll be interesting to see what we've got here to work with. All right, to see which one ultimately becomes your favorite live album of all time. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're here on Twitter as well. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.